All right. Jeez. So, we are going to. This is a test video that might actually make it into a real video of playing Town of Salem, which is a werewolf style game. Werewolf Mafia, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Me and my friends have been playing this for a little bit, but since the extension I'm using to record this is kind of funky, and the way I gotta record audio for multiple people is kind of weird. I'm gonna try this a bit by myself first, and then get to uh, doing this with more people. So, uh, if the audio video thing isn't messed up, and and YouTube won't fucking delete my videos for being 30 for being too long, which whatever that was fucking for. I have a Gang Beast video that should be going up sometime if it doesn't get deleted again, but who knows. Anyways, we're playing classic mode, and this game's kind of confusing to people who haven't played it. Even like I've been aware of werewolf stuff for a while, and werewolf games, and I still don't know. I still didn't quite understand the game when I first started playing it. It's basically a trial by fire to learning it. So I'm gonna explain at least whatever role I am, and I hope you like my stupid joke names that I come up with. Which some of them are just made up names, some of them are actually stupid fucking references. Why not? Token folks. So this is actually gonna be the first video I've done by myself. Let me check this thing real quick, make sure I'm transmitting okay. This is the first recording I'm gonna have done by myself. Since my pod videos, which I don't think were that particularly great. And these might not be either. But anyways, to the actual goddamn game. I'm the jailer. I'm basically one of the good guys. Every night I can jail somebody and interrogate them, and if I so choose, execute them in the jail. I think I don't remember if I'm able to execute as many times as I want to. I think I only have a max of 3 executions. Yeah. But so, anyways, yeah, I'm the town killing role. And you can see on the screen of a bunch of all the roles that are available, and then on the right you can see all your what role you are, what your goal is. And I fucking died. I ain't gonna show you shit now. Well, what a good test video, guys. I'm partially sick and I just died. Alright, well, at least I can fucking go through this and explain, because who knows, this might not even come out anyways, depending on what the shit happens with this program. Alright, so I was killed by the serial killer. Serial killer role is basically one person for himself just tries to kill everybody in the game and stay alive. Simple as that. And then the other, I guess, the bad faction. Technically, serial killer is a bad faction. The other bad faction is the mafia. There's 3 mafia: the framer, the mafioso, and the Godfather. Godfather decides who to kill every night. Mafioso actually carries out the kill, which actually makes a difference. And the framer can frame somebody else for the kill, depending on if the investigator investigates them. So, I don't even care about I don't care about the chat at the moment because I have nothing to give. I didn't jail anybody the first night. I don't have shit. So basically, I can use the rest of this game to just explain and not have to focus on the game so much. Uh, I've noticed that every time that me or one of my friends, mostly just my friends, I don't get that lucky, but every time my friends die first turn, their team ends up winning the game because if the side that I'm on ends up winning, then technically I've won the game, which doesn't. I mean, it's just achievements is really all that matters, but you know. Yeah, so in the town there's a lot of town roles. The ones you're always going to have in the game are on there, depending if you're playing with a full 15 people, which you should be playing with the full 15 people at this point. You can get away with playing with just 14 because the 15th person is just a random town member, but you always want to play with 15. Anyway, so you have the sheriff. They're lynching some bitch now, I don't know. You have the sheriff who can go and basically determine if somebody uh, is a mafia or not suspicious. I believe because basically the sheriff and the investigator do the same exact thing. Sheriff can actually pinpoint mafia better though, but they can't pinpoint extra. They can't pinpoint anything else specific. Oh well, they just killed the mafioso. That's good. Uh, nope. Died first turn. Okay, so what was I at? Anyway, so sheriff can basically determine if somebody's not suspicious or if they're a member of the mafia, except for the Godfather who turns up not suspicious. And there's some weird things like that in this game where even though they're technically bad or whatever, you won't be able to do things to them. But Godfather comes up as not suspicious, which helps usually later in the game when they. But at the beginning of the game, you have so many townspeople that you can't. Holy shit! 2 mafia already out. Being considered not suspicious this early in the game is just an up in the air kind of thing. That's the sheriff. What's next on the list? Doctor every night can choose one person to heal. It's like a day and night cycle. Night is where most of the killing actually happens, and then day is discussing shit and deciding if you want to lynch people. And I'm explaining this all out of order, but it's literally just a stream of consciousness thing I got going right now. I'm just whatever I'm thinking of next comes to my head. Anyways, doctor at night heals whoever they want. If they get attacked, they don't die for various causes. So and he can heal anybody, and they'll get healed. So even if he heals a mafia, they'll get healed. So you have to be careful with it. He can also heal himself at night for one turn only. So it's basically like a very desperate thing where if you're pretty sure you're going to be targeted, you want to go ahead and use that self heal. But next is the investigator, and he's the other. I guess he's one of the. I guess not to be redundant, but investigative roles because there's about 3 of them. Sorry. Yeah, the sheriff, the investigator, and the lookout. Basically, investigator actually can search anybody, and it'll basically be like, this person does this. Like this person works with knives, as an example. So it could be the doctor or the jester, which I'll get to that. I don't know later, but yeah. So he can basically narrow down to 2 or 3 groups of people what they are, but he can also be tricked by. He can also be tricked by the framer, or so can the sheriff and lookout potentially. The investigative roles are pretty essential, so losing them early on is not good. Like in addition to me dying, the investigator died died in the first game, so or died in the first round. So that's actually a pretty big hit. They still have the sheriff though, and the lookout. Medium at night can talk with dead people, which early in the game doesn't matter jack squat because obviously, unless depending on what role you are. I mean, if you're an investigator and you die first night from visiting somebody, that can matter. That could be helpful. But me, like I didn't do anything first night, so I literally have nothing to contribute to the game. And then once the medium dies, they can seance with the living person in the day. Actually, in the night, you pick whoever you want to seance in the day. Essentially, you can talk to one person, one living person after you die, uh, to provide them information. And so, yeah, those are the town, and then the Godfather, who, like I said, he basically picks who to kill every night, uh, and that's basically it. Besides he comes up as not suspicious, and he has night immunity, which means like if someone tries to kill him at night, he won't die, uh, regardless, which can be used against him later. Uh, the the mafia roles are a lot simpler to explain than the whatever. And this is all boring nonsense right now, but it's just again a test video that could possibly be a real video. So I don't know. The framer is again another very simple role to the point of almost being boring. You'll see a lot of people that will just be like, I fucking hate playing framer and will leave the game, which is really annoying because at least having a framer means you have a third mafia person, so you have a better chance of surviving. But framer can be kind of boring at times. But if you're good at framing, you can absolutely get people killed. And it's just if any investigator role goes to the person you're framing, they will seem like they're a framer themselves, or they're guilty themselves. And if you're good, if you can manage to do it well, you can actually cause some serious like confusion and just keep helping your Godfather pick off people. Executioner is a neutral role, which are honestly my personally I never play them much, but like the only for yourself roles are probably my favorite roles in this game, just because I don't have to rely on idiots to do things. So Executioner, what his role in the game is, he doesn't have to worry about any of the anything going on with the town or the mafia or anything like that. He literally just has one target in the game, and it's a random target that'll come up. It'll say, like in this game, just let's look at the graveyard. Like if I was the executioner, it would say your target is fruits. Get him lynched at all costs, and you basically win. That's literally how you win the game as an executioner. You don't have to worry about the town winning. You don't have to worry about anything winning. You literally just have to get your target lynched. And what happens if you don't get your target lynched by the end of the game? If he actually just doesn't die, well, you lose. And then if he actually gets killed during the night, sorry again, like I said, I've been sick. If your target gets killed during the night, you become a jester, and the jester's purpose in the game is kind of similar, but he's another neutral role that's basically just out for himself. He's trying to get himself lynched, and your only goal in this game is just to get yourself lynched, which seems like it's a very simple role. It's really fucking hard to do. It's not easy to be an executioner or a jester. It's very easy to be a mafia. It's depending on how well your town is able to get things done. A town, if you have a dumb town, it's gonna be an annoying game. But if you have a organized town, it can work fairly smoothly for you. You know, people are gonna die, but you'll get a fairly smooth uh, when going on. But the jester and the executioner are without a doubt, maybe besides for the serial killer, to a point, are probably the hardest roles to execute in terms of definite roles that you can have in this game. But yeah, after you kill your target as executioner, you don't have to worry about anything. You're still technically in the game, and so you'll be counted. You can still vote on stuff, and after that point, you can just if you want to help the mafia, you can. If you want to help the town, you can. It doesn't matter because you've already won, no matter what. Even if you die, afterward, you'll still win. And as the jester, as soon as you get lynched, you've won. And then after you get lynched as a jester, you can pick people. You can basically pick whoever voted you to get lynched. There's like a 2-stage process to hanging someone. You have to first basically nominate someone to be hanged, and then actually vote to whether you think they should be hanged or not. And everybody that votes for you to be hanged, you basically can just kill any of them if you want. Really, the target is just the goal is to kill somebody that voted you guilty in a lynching. But I mean, once you get lynched, it doesn't matter. Once you get lynched, I mean, you're gonna kill somebody anyways, and you can wait. I mean, you can wait. You don't have to do it immediately. You can wait, but I mean, as soon as you kill somebody, you've won the game for yourself again. And again, you're dead, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so that was the executioner, and I guess the jester. Escort basically is you basically just distract somebody every night. It's role blocking, so essentially if the escort was to go to the investigator's house and role block him, he wouldn't be able to investigate somebody that night. And it's simple, but it can be pretty annoying if the escort doesn't know what to do. And an escort's another role that a lot of people don't like playing because sometimes it just doesn't amount to much. But it can be fairly essential because escorts sometimes can what they role block and what they do will sway the game within the first couple turns. So they're still fairly important. Just it depends. What's next? Mafioso is just the person that actually kills, and it's kind of weird. But the Godfather decides who to kill, and then the mafioso is the one that actually kills them. So technically, the Godfather's just yeah, go kill that guy, and I'm just gonna stay out of it. Until the mafioso dies, at least, and I'll explain that in a second. Actually, I gotta say that I'll go and explain that right now, because mafioso literally all he does, he can vote. He can say in chat he can vote to kill somebody, but the Godfather decides anyways. But what happens with the mafia as they die is that if the framer dies, you don't have a framer anymore. If the mafioso dies and the framer is still there, he'll still remain the framer for the time being. And the Godfather would just kill people instead. And if the Godfather dies, the mafioso becomes the Godfather, the grandfather. You become an old fuck. The mafioso becomes the Godfather if Godfather dies. Framer becomes the mafioso if both the Godfather and the other mafioso are dead. Which like I said, the mafioso doesn't have the night immunity, and he doesn't come up as not suspicious like the Godfather. So it does actually matter which one's the Godfather and which one's the mafioso. That was probably a bit confusing, but you can see right now the mafioso right now the mafioso and the framer are dead, so it's just the Godfather left. But if the Godfather and the if the Godfather and the framer had died, then the current guy who was originally mafioso would be Godfather. But yeah, mafioso, for a lot of the game, really doesn't, for unless the Godfather dies, it doesn't really do much in terms of night. You literally just sit there. I mean, you can discuss things with the Godfather, but in terms of actually like doing an action for yourself, he doesn't do jack squat until the Godfather dies. Let's see. Like next, Lookout. Lookout basically spies on houses, like spies on like if I wanted to spy on, for example, Banana Cake, his house. Every night I would see who visited that house. So like if someone went to go kill Banana Cake, Jane being the serial killer, I would see Jane visited Banana Pancake, and if she ended up dead next morning, then I could, if I wanted to, if it was prudent, I could say, "Hey, I'm the goddamn Lookout, and I saw Jane go to Banana Pancake's house last night, and she's dead. So Jane probably killed him." And then that's about that role. Serial killer, like I said, I think I mentioned earlier, but the serial killer at the beginning, just basically, is technically it's not a neutral role. It's technically an evil faction, but it's literally just get everybody killed, get all the mafia, get all the town killed, and that's about it. And that's kind of hard to do because that means you literally have to survive until the end of the round as serial killer. So it's a weird thing. Town killing. The reason it says town killing instead of specific roles because there's a couple of different town killing roles. One is the veteran. Oh shit. One is the veteran. Okay, I don't think that messed up the recording. My screensaver went on because I hadn't moved my mouse in forever. Like I said, the one in this game was the vigilante. The vigilante can go to basically anybody's house if he wants to. Sorry. And kill him, just like randomly kill anybody. And if he wants to, but if he kills a towns member, he will kill himself the next day, basically out of guilt. So he has to make sure that who he's killing is either a neutral, the serial killer, or a mafia. And that's basically that role. So, and then the other town killing is the veteran. Every night the veteran can go on alert, and basically anybody who visits him that night will die. He'll shoot them, and he'll die. And so again, that's another one where it's like he does not kill himself, but it's veterans like kind of the weird role where like the veteran can kill a bunch of townspeople, but since he's town, it's like you can't do anything about it. It's like, oh well, fucking shit, the veteran was an idiot and killed a bunch of town people, but it's not like whatever. Shit. Let's see. So, I lost my train of thought. I think those are the only two town killing roles. And then the jester, I've already explained that with the execution. And then a random town member, which means you can have a double, like you could have two sheriffs in one game, two doctors in one game, blah, blah, blah. Or a town member that isn't part of the town to begin with, which includes a spy, which I think which I believe the spy, I've never actually played as a spy. The spy will, fucking damn it, I'm losing my train of thought. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning and I don't ever go to sleep. The spy can, go to one person's, choose one person and listen to their conversation. Like if they talk to anybody in the night, which basically like the only times that would make a difference is if, basically if they're a jailer or they're the mafia. So basically they just kind of got to guess which one the mafia and then listen to their chat. But I don't think he'll be able to see who the other mafia are. He'll just know that you're the mafia. But again, I've never played the spy, so I'm not specifically sure. One of them is the mayor, which is a really weird role where basically throughout the entire match, you just you're like a regular town member, but then if you reveal yourself as the mayor, you if you basically you reveal yourself as mayor and your votes count, I believe your vote counts 3 times. But as soon as you reveal yourself as mayor, obviously you've ousted yourself as a town member. So basically, it's basically a death sentence. But if you're trying to keep yourself alive and get somebody else that you actually suspect out, that's what you're supposed to do. This cough is getting worse. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Fuck. And what was the other? What was the other random town I was thinking of? Retributionist. Retributionist can at one point during the game revive a dead town member, and that's about it. Just depending on what town member it is, random things. And look, the town wins. So that strategy I said before of coughing until people stop watching your videos. The strategy of dying in the first round and still winning the game because I've technically won the game because the town wins. That's about it. This game they killed the serial killer, they killed the mafia. It's what the town's supposed to do. Town does not have to kill those neutral roles. They do not have to kill the executioner. They do not have to kill the jester. Basically, the only way they can kill the jester is at night, or else he wins. But the jester or the executioner winning does not affect the town winning, nor does it affect the mafia winning. It's literally just themselves winning. So basically, you'll see people in this game that are most assuredly fuck. They'll immediately just make themselves an obvious jester or obvious executioner by just randomly spitting out hey, vote this guy because I just want him dead. And it's usually either an executioner or a jester. Being an executioner, trying to get that person killed, or being a jester, just throwing out a name so people will vote for them. And usually it's pretty obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people will vote for a very obvious jester or executioner. But we're going to start up another game here. That video, I don't know how long that was. I don't know if I can check. Holy shit, fucking 30 minutes? 28 minutes. Maybe not. Maybe this will just end up being a different video. Because my other video got taken down from being 30 minutes too long. Fucking, I'm sure, whatever. Yeah, so this is almost 30 minutes long right now, but I want to actually play a game where I don't die the first round, so we're going to use the same damn name. No, actually we won't, because sometimes you will get in the same game with people. Okay. Is this the same fucking Magikarp that I've seen all night? Alright. Alright, I'm the veteran. The town killing role. Paranoid war hero shoots anybody that visits them. So yeah, I can go on alert 3 times. People visit me. They fucking die. Should probably, people, you'll have your, just for other random nuances of the game, you'll have your last will, which is basically what people, the notes you leave when you die. Everybody in the match will see them. And usually what happens is that if they're townspeople, they'll have like a detailed list of each night, what they did and what happened. Usually, I'm kind of starting to do that now, but when I first started playing this, and I still do sometimes, just put like some sort of stupid joke line. Or I'll do both. I'll put a stupid joke line and then actually relevant information. And then if you're a class that can kill somebody, that can actively kill somebody at night, holy shit! Well, this ain't gonna go for shit. Okay, what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna tell you what the other fucking thing is. I'm gonna stop. Because this will probably end up being a second video. I'm just gonna stop recording and start up again as I'm about to get into another match. Anyways, the other thing here that you see is the death note, and it's basically the message that is seen when someone dies. You'll see their last will, and then you'll see the death note of the person that killed them. And usually it's going to be some sort of fucking joke, because no one's ever going to put something like, something that's going to incriminate them. I've done it once on accident, but sometimes people do. Sometimes people put stuff in their death notes that just makes other people look bad. Although I do want to make a point here. Drew Barrymore, look, if you see what they just typed, don't know why I pointed at my screen. If she's technically the mafia, not mafia, if she's actually the lookout, the person that killed me last night, she saw I died last night, and she said she was the lookout, and she said that the vagina visited me last night. Therefore, if I died last night and someone visited me, that means they killed me. So pretty much, they have a solid case to go for vagina. 10 if she's telling the truth. And that would be funny if Drew Barrymore was an executioner and she was going for a vagina. That would actually be really fucking funny. I'm gonna say just to see this. All right, so no last will, sheriff. Oh damn. Okay, so that was probably an executioner, most likely. Drew Barrymore was most likely the executioner. Told a pretty fucking convincing lie. Because this early in the game, sometimes even just saying something like, I'm the lookout, I saw what happened, it's this person, vote them, is enough to make everybody vote for them. And honestly, I would have voted for vagina to be guilty too, based on that. But so Drew Barrymore was probably the executioner. Probably. Could have very well been mafia just deflecting on somebody, but that would get them killed very early. So I think she's probably the executioner, and she just won herself the game no matter what happens. Good for her. Like I said, don't care about what happens to the rest of this match. I'm going to end this video here, or actually in this particular cut of the video here. And I guess resume with the next one in another game where I hopefully don't die on the first fucking turn, or else I'm going to flip a shit. So, thank you, and if I bored you, I pretty much predicted that. So yeah. I'll hurry up.